I wanted to talk a bit about what depression is. And depression, different people have different interpretations of their experience of depression, and I think that's really important. Um, yes, it's really important because I've heard people describe their experience of depression in quite different ways to me, but every experience should be treated with empathy and respect, and yeah, sometimes it doesn't always happen. So for me, my experience of depression started in my mid-teens, and I, I didn't understand. I didn't understand at all what was going on. Um, I felt incredibly low, constantly low. Um, didn't it just didn't understand why. There seemed to be no reason, rationale for me feeling so low. You know, in my mid-teens, I was doing really well in school. I was doing well in my GCSEs, and I come from a really loving family, so um, so it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense why I was feeling not just very low, but tearful. Uh, I would cry at the smallest of things. I remember my little cousin came to play, and I must have been about 16 at the time. He came to play at my family home for the day, and it was great. But then when he left, I couldn't stop crying. I felt this. It was horrible, and I just didn't understand why I felt this this. Um, I want to call it like a weight, a huge weight, a weight that I was constantly carrying around. I think one thing that's very common with depression is, and you hear this a lot, is people feel the need to mask it, and I certainly felt the need to mask it growing up. So yeah, the idea of this mask, that everything's fine. Yeah, I'm fine. You know, um, especially when I was a teenager. This was 15 years ago now, and we didn't talk about mental health at all. So I just see, for me, my experience of the mask was, I didn't want people to see at all what was going on because I was doing well, as I said. My GCSEs, my A levels, my prospects were good. Everyone thought I was doing really well, um, and these feelings that I was having, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing, and I was ashamed, and I just wanted people to see me flourishing and doing well. And for me, the depression really, really kind of got much worse at university. That transition to university was tough, and ultimately I had a breakdown at university. Um, yeah, I remember there were times when I would literally be paralysed by my depression. It makes me being in my university halls of residence, not being able to move, crying, just crying, not being able to move for the confusion about what was going on, the shame of these feelings and not understanding them, the desperation to express what was going on, but not being able to express what was going on, and just utter sadness and bleakness and hopelessness. Thankfully for me, when I had my breakdown at university when I was 20, they say, a breakdown is a breakthrough, they say. And it was for me. It took a while to come to accept that, but it was a breakthrough. I got hospitalized, I got diagnosis, I got medication, I got treatment. And I mean, I've had periods of depression throughout. I'm 31 now. I've had periods of depression throughout my 20s, but it's never been like it was in my teens. Um, yeah, but when it comes, it's yeah. For me, it's very much. It does physically manifest. My thoughts are dark and despairing, but my physical body um, just feels overwhelmed and exhausted, um, and sometimes that escalates into the point of suicidal thoughts and feelings, which is a whole other area. But for me, I try and manage my mental health through medication. So I take antidepressants. Through mindfulness has been a massive help to me, and through therapy as well. I've had a lot of therapy over the years. CBT in particular has helped me with my depression. But also I have something called CFT, which is compassion focused therapy, CFT, and that's a much more holistic way of looking at myself. And um, yeah, that's really helped me as well. And I feel just to end, I feel happy, not all the time, of course, but in my teens, I really thought I could never be happy. The thought of happiness didn't apply to me; it applied to other people, and just the thought of feeling joy and the thought of this depression lifting just never seemed possible in my latter teens. Just, but it did pass, and I think that's the message that I always try and put out. My favourite saying is fall down 7 times, stand up 8. Um, because you can overcome, and it's tough when you're in the depths of depression. But lots of people have got through it, and I've got through it. And if you're watching this and you're struggling, then you can as well. Thank you.